Hello there, it's the 4th of September and good morning. Welcome to Good Morning Sri Lanka, and I'm Harit, back after a little while. Hi Ryan, how are you?
Hey, good morning to you too, and slightly back after a week, if I'm not mistaken, more than a week and a day. And I hope you guys are having a great time. It is a rainy Tuesday. It is the 4th of September. It's also kind of difficult saying September.
I know, it's September. It's the month that the Americans go crazy with all the mourning.
Yeah. And there's a song also called September. No, it's just that things have really been moving so quickly after we had the Olympics and everything was back to normal. And now it's September, and before we know it, it's almost the end of 2012.
Yeah, time's moving fast, and a call out to my boy, RP, who's having his...
Was it RP?
RP, that's what I call
RP.
him. Yeah, initialed. His birthday. Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday to you, RP. And before we move on, we got a very interesting conversation with two gentlemen who will tell us about their foundation and what they're busy with. But first, a look at the papers.
Yep, Brian, the headlines look really interesting. Starting off, the Justice Ministry wants to have a referendum on the death penalty.
Okay.
See, the death penalty in Sri Lanka has been not enforced. Since 1976, we've never had a person hung.
No.
But then you get the sentence that's been passed to hang by death. So now what they want to do is have a procedure where we'll have a referendum to enforce the death penalty, to actually hang the people who have killed a person with a plan and also grave sexual crimes such as rape and sexual abuse, which is, I think, very timely.
Yeah, that's true. So there is indeed truth to... because I heard like a couple of weeks back that there was an opening for an executioner.
Oh yes, I did tell a few friends to apply. A wonderful job. I mean, I kill people for a living, or hang people for a living. So.
That's another way of looking at it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a timely discussion that is now taking place in the country, because if you've been following the papers, we are now flooded with a lot of stories about sexual abuses, rape, mostly, and the sad part, mostly of minors, and it seems like it's getting out of hand. So it is, like what you said, it is a timely discussion.
There has to be a point where you see, okay, I get the point of saying once you hang a man, he's dead and he has no chance, second chance. But then when the country is going down this precipice of people being raped, killed, non-stop, for example, the Kahawata murders, the Tangol rapes, all these issues just go unnoticed. Otherwise, you have to set an example to these criminals. Hang one guy, and you'll see the next month you'll have a huge reduction. At least it won't be so much out in the open.
Yeah. Well, I remember a story that my mother shared. This one happened in the Philippines back in the early 70s. There was a very much publicized rape case of a very famous actress. And what they did was, it was heard on radio, step by step, the procedure. And in the Philippines then, it was the electric chair.
All right.
So
I guess that's another step to consider.
My mother actually did say there was a major drop in instances of not just the sexual crimes but all crimes in general, because when people know that it is implemented, that it is happening, people heard how every convict, or how they call the dead man walking, suffered. It made such an emotional and psychological impact on the population.
You'll obviously think twice. You'll obviously think twice, and it's a great thing. And I think it's good that Justice Ministry is taking it head on. Moving on, great news, Ryan. 4,928 students more to be added into the new university admissions. So the Supreme Court giving that very important recommendation that the University Grants Commission has said that we have one recommendation, and they have said yes, taking 4,928 more students.
That's 4,000 more individuals who need not to worry where they will go after the A-levels. Right?
That's true, because there's been a lot of chaos. People don't know. They say that they can go, then they say you can't go. People are applying this way, the teachers are complaining that way. Education, I guess, is in a bit of a rut. But this decision actually, I think that is the best decision that we could come to, where we say, okay, all of you people who we said that can go to university, you will get a place in university.
And hopefully by it gets increased every year, not just 4,000 for next year, and more of our young ones can get to a university without leaving the country.
And I think it brings us to the point to show that our universities can even accommodate 5,000 more students when they want to. So that shows that we can increase our capacity, because we say our university are not enough for the students who pass their levels. But see, suddenly we need 5,000 more spaces, and we'll have it.
We'll have 5,000
increase in infrastructure, teachers, facilities. So it's a really good decision. And
I've always believed that you should educate your people and keep them at home, so they have a better grasp of what's going on. And also it's more emotionally stabling for them to not be in a strange surrounding and still be with family.
Yeah. It's a great thing to increase this expense on expenditure. You have to spend on education. You have to spend as a country on education, and I think this is a good move forward. The courts, the UGC joining in.
Okay.
And what do we have on the business side?
Well, now the business side, because you mentioned about spendings and all. This is good news. Retailers flood the bourse with bullish sentiments, propel the market cap back to 2 trillion rupees level. Reading a little bit into the business headline, the Colombo bourse gathered further strength with high volumes of trade on the back of active retail play, as well as select buying by institutional investors, all of which propelled the market capitalization back to 2 trillion rupees, a level that was seen 4 months ago. So it looks pretty good right now, the bourse. And just looking into another story, the nation's carrier actually turns 33, with passenger load up 27% in the first half of this year, which is a good news for our nation's carrier.
Of course, yeah, they have quite an increasing inbound flight as well, and all going good. Good to see the bulls back in the market.
Yes, so that's a look at the business section of the newspaper.
Yep. And in sports, well, you mentioned the Olympics at the beginning. Can't forget the Paralympics.
That's true.
Because as important, I mean, it's a celebration of sports, and I think it's a very momentous one for the Paralympians, because Oscar Pistorius, as probably a Paralympian, joined the Olympics, and now you go into the Paralympics itself, and China, not surprisingly, leading the medal tally with 39, USA at 10, which I find strange, and they're at place number 6, which probably suggests to me that the USA doesn't focus as much on their Paralympians.
Could be, or the other countries have just really stepped up to the plate when it comes to their Paralympians. And also the interesting thing is, the Paralympics has been watched by a lot more people now, and attended. The venues are well attended, so it's a good comparison from the last Paralympics.
And see, what I saw in the Olympics, one wonderful clip that I saw was where the athletes come through agony, pain, and sometimes they fall and a weight falls on their shoulder, etc. They go through the pain. Now here the Paralympics, they are all inbound. It's in the sport itself, because they come with a disadvantage. There's this one gentleman here who has participated, and he had suffered from a small seizure, but he has still competed and still won a bronze medal.
Well, we just hope that the only glitch in the system was the one that happened during, if I'm saying, the shot put, when the computer had malfunctioned and they actually awarded the gold medal to the wrong person. We hope that's the last of the problems.
That's a disabled computer.
Yes, that's a disabled computer, no pun intended. And looking at the entertainment page, a quick look. Well, according to reports, Seal accuses Heidi Klum of cheating. This is regarding Heidi Klum's reported relationship with her bodyguard. But then he retracted, saying he didn't say that she cheated while they were married. But he kind of left the hanging question like, but is there something going on? To which Heidi Klum strongly said nothing is going on, and she has never cheated on Seal, especially when they were still married. Well, technically they are still married. The divorce proceeding hasn't been finalized, so they technically are still married.
So he still cares for her?
I think yes, because he's been it's rare that you see a man go on different shows and still wears a red wedding ring, and says that still loves the wife.
Or so is it that he doesn't want people to think that she left him for a bodyguard?
That could be that could be another reason. And also interesting, when it comes to relationship, Robbie Williams has always been thought of as the bad boy of Take That. But it's very interesting that he was part of his friends' wedding vows. How much of a part? According to reports, at the wedding, this is according to his good friend Jonathan. The pair is Jonathan and Nikki. At their wedding, The vicar even said, "Nikki, do you take Johnny and Robbie to be your lawful wedded husbands?" Because they travel together, they have spent time together, and this is also considering that Robbie is actually married now to Ida Field, who is pregnant with their first child. So it's been a long time friendship with these three, that even at the wedding, he had to take a very special part.
I wonder if in any country you can marry two husbands at one time. Interesting question.
That's very interesting, and very interesting with the vicar who decided to have that little line there. So those are a look of the major stories in today's broadsheet. So you might just want to pick it up while after the show, while you're having your coffee. And
there's a story on Egypt and their herbs. The United Nations is sponsoring a project in the harsh deserts of Egypt, and where they want to help save the ancient medicinal herbs which are currently endangered, probably in the sweltering heat of Egypt and the globalization and the industrialism and all that. It's these valuable things such as the ancient herbs that the Egyptians used to have are probably just withering away. So the United Nations have come up with this project where the herbs that the Bedouin tribes of the Sinai have relied on for hundreds of years have started to be preserved and kept, and it's an award-winning project which will conserve for the future generations. So I think we have a small documentary on that.
Yes.
So we should thank the UN for preserving the herbs in Egypt, Ryan, but I think they should put a small eye onto Sri Lanka as well, because we have so much of those similar herbs in Sri Lanka which are being lost by word of mouth now, because the traditions are going away. People don't want to practice traditional medicine, and probably it's been lost. So conserving herbs, it's a good thing to go, good way to go. And with that, we'll take a short commercial break, but we'll be back with the gentleman from the Gamini Disanayaka Foundation and a unique dinner theatre concert where we'll be joined by the Honorable President